I accidentally threw out his Pokemon cards collection. What do I do? My boyfriend, Alex, has been a Pokemon fan since he was a kid. He has a vast collection of cards that he keeps in a special box. He's always been proud of his collection and loves to show it off to his friends. I've always been supportive of his passion, even though I don't fully understand it. One day, while cleaning our room, I came across a box of old stuff that didn't seem important. It was filled with old papers, broken toys, and other knickknacks. I didn't see any harm in getting rid of it, so I dumped everything into a dumpster bag and threw it away. 2 weeks later, Alex is frantically searching for his Pokemon cards. He's looking everywhere, under the bed, in the closet, even in the attic. I ask him what's wrong, and he tells me that he can't find his collection. I try to play it cool and tell him that we'll find it eventually, but deep down, I know the truth. I feel terrible for what I've done. I try to distract him by suggesting we go out for a walk or watch a movie, but he's not having it. He's too busy searching for his cards. I can see the desperation in his eyes, and it's breaking my heart. I know I need to come clean and tell him what happened, but I'm scared. I don't want to lose his trust or hurt him any further. I'm stuck in a cycle of guilt and fear, hoping that somehow, someway, things will work out in the end. As the days go by, Alex becomes more and more despondent. He's not himself anymore, and it's all because of my careless mistake. I feel like I'm losing him, and it's all my fault. I don't know what to do. Should I tell him the truth and risk losing him, or keep the secret and hope he never finds out? I'm at a loss for what to do, and I'm hoping that somehow, someway, things will work out in the end. I deeply regret sharing my Instagram history with my partner. My possessiveness and lack of trust in her led me to make this mistake. She enjoyed going out and socializing, which made me feel insecure and anxious. I would often lash out at her, accusing her of things without any evidence. One day, my curiosity got the better of me, and I asked to see her private direct messages on social media. She was hesitant, but I persisted, and we reached a compromise. She would show me her history if I showed her mine that I didn't think twice about it and handed over my phone. As she scrolled through, I noticed her eyes welling up with tears. My heart sank as I realized too late that I had forgotten to delete some embarrassing photos from my high school days, where I had a foot fetish. Oh no. She didn't find anything in my DMs that were crazy, but she did learn about when I had a thing for toes and calluses. She was laughing and pointing at me. I had pictures of celebrities' feet which I forgot to delete. She learned of my deepest darkest secret and it was my fault. She would always tease me about it every now and then. That is what I get for prying on her privacy. Found out my girlfriend's secret. Was relaxing and watching television one day. My now ex was just sleeping there on the couch next to me. I thought it would be cute to caress her leg while she was sleeping and wake her. When I reached down, I noticed something a little off-putting. I had to do a double take because it looked like something was extruding out of her pants and deforming her pajamas. It was indeed phallic and quite large. It threw me off as I instantly realized my entire life was a lie. I woke her up, and she knew something was wrong. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, and I could see the fear in her face. "What's wrong?" she asked, trying to play it off like she didn't know what was going on. "You know what's wrong," I said, my voice shaking with anger. "You're not who you said you were. You're a man." She started to cry, and I felt a pang of guilt. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I should have just accepted it and moved on. But I couldn't. I had been lied to, and I couldn't just let it slide. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I just didn't know how to tell you." I shook my head, unable to comprehend how someone could do this to another person. "I don't want to hear it," I said, turning my back on her. "I need to get out of here." I stormed out of the house, not looking back. My girlfriend broke up with me for the dumbest reason. It was a typical day, or so it seemed, until my girlfriend asked me to meet her after school. She told me it was important and that it would change everything. I arrived 10 minutes early, my anxiety growing with each passing moment. As I saw her walking towards me, her head hung low and a sad expression on her face, my heart began to race as I walked towards her, trying to muster up a smile, but she didn't seem to notice. She barely looked at me as we met, and I could tell that something was wrong. I tried to lean in for a kiss, hoping that it would ease the tension, but she turned her head away. It was then that I knew that this was not going to be a normal conversation. She took a deep breath and began to explain that we needed to break up. My mind raced as I tried to process her words. Why did she want to break up? What had changed? The day before, everything seemed fine. I asked her for a reason, but she just looked down and didn't reply. I pressed her for an answer, my voice growing louder as my frustration mounted. She looked up at me, tears welling in her eyes, and said, "You're just too small for me. I want someone who is bigger, who can satisfy me." My heart sank as I realized the truth behind her words. I had always known that I was smaller than most guys, but I had never thought that it would be a problem in our relationship. But now, it seemed that it was the only thing that mattered. This guy thought his girlfriend's twin was hotter, so he made a move on her. He approached her sister, wrapped his arms around her, and planted a kiss on her lips, all while pretending to mistake her for his girlfriend. The whole thing went down in public, and naturally, people were talking. Word got back to his girlfriend, and she was understandably pissed. The guy tried to play it off like it was an honest mistake, but his girlfriend wasn't buying it. She knew he had ulterior motives, and she wasn't about to let him get away with it. The tension between them was palpable, and their relationship became incredibly strained. Despite his denials, the guy's actions spoke louder than his words. He continued to flirt with her sister, always finding excuses to be near her and, accidentally, touch her hand or brush against her arm. It was clear that he had a thing for her, and it was only a matter of time before he made another move. The girlfriend was fed up with his antics and decided to confront him. She demanded to know why he kept pursuing her sister when he knew it was her he was supposed to be with. The guy tried to downplay it, saying it was just a harmless mistake, but the girlfriend wasn't having it. She knew he was lying and called him out on it. The argument escalated, and things got ugly. The guy refused to own up to his actions, and the girlfriend refused to let it slide. In the end, they broke up, and it was a messy, dramatic split. The guy was left alone, regretting his decision to play games with two women's hearts. The twin sisters, on the other hand, were left to pick up the pieces and move on from the whole ordeal.